ために最も必要なもの、それは運です。
Everyone out there, and welcome back to another edition of the Project Webtoons podcast. One more time with the newest week here. As always, I am your big host. It is Sleepy.
This is Dr. Dragoon.
Hey, we're going to be doing a dual cast this week since our homeboy Seraph has still got a few things to take care of, but I've been told that he is going to hop in at some point here, so we'll see if we get him to show up while we're in the middle of it. But, you know, as always, we're here to talk and discuss some of the hottest webtoons that are out on the market there. You know, that Solo Leveling, that Beginning After the End, Center of the Demonic Master, got a Highschool, Peerless Dad and Mookhyang, and much more. But before we jump in, as always, I want to say if you're enjoying the content and liking it, please hit that like button as well as that subscribe so you can notify when new episodes drop, as well as any of our other major content. Hopefully you guys are keeping an eye out. We've got a few ramblings coming down the pipeline, as well as another recommends headed your way. So definitely keep your ears and eyes out for that. But I know this week we got a few hot topics to discuss, including some comments. But I want to always start out how you doing this week there, Ark.
I already just told you I'm not feeling well, which is why we're not doing no FaceTime today.
I mean, you told me that, but I'm sure everybody else would like to know why there's no face today.
Nah.
So, you didn't get enough of a soak? Yay to nay?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll see how long we can keep him alive for this whole thing. We might have to resuscitate a few times, but it's all right. We've got a few big things to talk about, so I'll keep you entertained as much as I can there, okay, Ark? I hope you'll be willing to humor me on a few of these things.
That's one way to put it.
Yes, that is one way to put it. But let's go ahead and jump into our first ones, not keeping it too long, with Solo Leveling. I know that when we dropped off last time, we had speculation exactly how our homeboy was, more or less what our idiot hunter was going to do. And I did call it that he was playing the safe card, but at the same time, he was really like, I'm prepared to die. And it ended up with Jinho getting captured and tortured for information. And very specifically, homeboy just wanted the information of, did you kill my brother? Did you and Jinwoo kill my brother? And that's all he wanted. He just wanted confirmation. Granted, I don't know if this was just supposed to be some weird closure for him to get that, because at the end of the day, we knew what was going to happen, and that did happen. Jinwoo does get on the scene before things get too vital and just lays him out with one. I don't even think he punched him. I think he pushed him.
Something like that.
It was enough to knock him back, but lo and behold, Jinwoo shows up on the scene. He tries to help out Jinho, but apparently, this is at least new knowledge for me on how items work. The potion he was giving him stated that because his life was at such a critical level, it couldn't heal him. So I don't know.
I thought that was kind of weird where that wasn't mentioned before, where I was like, so you're telling me this thing that's supposed to fix people cannot fix people if they're almost dead? This seems like
it's the Phoenix Down syndrome.
But he's not dead. If he was dead,
no. Remember, we have to go back to that. According to the Phoenix Down lore, the target is not dead. They are just merely incapacitated, so knocked out, unconscious, but they're not dead, or they're not near death. They're just incapacitated, so it can revive them from that state. So this is kind of working in that same level. He's at dying point. He's not just, I'm sleepy because I've wasted too much energy. So, I mean, it's not too surprising because we've had so many people like at horrifyingly like mutilated levels of damage, and we still have hospitals, and yet why is this so? There's literally items that they could just give people to drink and like, all right, you're all better after like 24 hours, go walk off. It's like even Jinwoo had to spend, what was it, like 2 or 3 months in a hospital. Granted, it should have been longer, in a world where we have potions that can just, you know, get you back up on your feet. So I mean, that at least gave context to that thing. So Jinwoo's still down, needed to be taken to a hospital, so he sends him off with his shadow, and he and Homeboy are facing off, and Homeboy asks him the same question, just, did you kill my brother? And he basically just goes, you know what, you can ask him when you see him. So I wouldn't even call it a fight as much as it is just a complete washing, because this dude is nowhere near at his level. But during that fight, we move over to see Thomas Andre, and the entirety of his guild is in pursuit to try and find our would-be runaway hunter. And he knows exactly where he is, because they've been tracking him. And right away, he sees a giant explosion, and he jumps into action. Now, the thing is, I'm still not 100% on this, is he gets there, and he tells him to stand down, that he can't attack him. And I'm not sure if it's Andre's doing this because he doesn't want him messing with his people, or if he's just really wants a reason to fight Jinwoo.
No, he just really wants a reason to fight Jinwoo. Okay.
Because I feel like it was, I feel like it was more Homeboy's plan to get him to fight, because he knew that he would.
It's both. He really wants to fight Jinwoo, but he knows that this isn't the time or place for it.
Yeah.
But then because the idiot basically set this up for him, he's like, well, I'm now doing it out of self-defense, not because of pure spite / enjoyment. Yeah, it's like, yeah, now so it's just seeming like, okay, so who's really making the plan here, when it's like, is this just something that you already intentionally planned and you were just going along with it because you knew you'd get to it? Or it was like, I will do this because it's what I want to do, but I'm not planning for it, and it just kind of happened in the way he'd like. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that's like, here's where the story's maybe just a little wibbly wobbly on exactly people's motivations and intentions. But Andre and Jinwoo are squared up, and they're basically going to go throw down. But it's going to be the entirety of his Hunters Guild against all of Jinwoo's army, it looks like. And I mean, I don't know if 2 high national rank hunters fight, is that considered like basically declaring war on the nation? Maybe.
Would this be considered like, yeah, this is kind of like international incident kind of thing? Even though it would be more on their fault because it was one of their individuals that kidnapped him and tortured him, and for them to respond in kind is just something accepted, or yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see how this is going to play on the political stage, because I mean, Andre doesn't care any way you see it, and I'm sure Jinwoo isn't really thinking that far ahead when it comes to it entirely, but I don't think he'll probably kill any of the other hunters, since he knows they're just defending their guild master. But I think at the end of the day, he's like, no, I'm not. He doesn't want to kill them. He's just gonna kill this one guy. That's the only person he's really after. Yeah. So, did you have anything in this latest chapter that you thought of, at least for that fight? Did you kind of see like this dude's plan like playing out that way, or?
I mean, I don't think at this point Jinwoo is against killing people if need be with that, so it's fine. I don't think it's just because like, oh, it's this one guy. No, I think he's willing to kill the rest of the guild if need be. So
you think he'll hold off as long as it's need be, but
hey,
if it comes to that, if you push him too much, it's like, all right, well, this is how I'll solve this problem.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nobody else in the vicinity for that. Well, at least he cares about that can hurt. That he has to worry about getting hurt. It's just him, and they can't kill his shadows really. So, yeah, and I don't know like the actual ranking of that guy's guild members at all, so I don't think he'll have too much of a problem mopping most of them down. But it really comes to, you know, Andre, if he were, you know, to actually hurt or kill him, you know, that would be a really bad optic for America, because that would be their second national ranked hunter to go down, and they're already possibly thinking that it is someone involved, it is Jinwoo's dad that did it. So I don't think that would be great for another mark on him to have that. But yeah, now how do we see the fight actually going all the way out? Do you see it ending with a third party stepping in and stalemating it, or do you?
I don't know.
You don't know? You have any speculation at all?
No, I have no idea. I'm not Jamie. I'm not ahead.
You're not ahead. Well, yes, but that's reading ahead and not, you know, just guessing or taking what knowledge you have already and then kind of applying it forward. You know what I'm saying here. Do we want to see, like, do we possibly want to see Andre, like, even, like, meet him in the middle? Like, him actually to be an opponent that he has a struggle with? Or, because that's been the one thing we've had.
I think it's more realistic to say that he isn't an opponent to struggle with.
Okay. You don't think he's potentially has any chance of being someone he'll struggle against?
I don't think he should be.
I mean, you'd hope at least that some of these national ranks would have like some merit to their titles. in some way.
But
I mean, we haven't really seen any of them fight.
I think the point here is that you have to prove that he's not, so that America knows that, oh hey, there is actual serious shit going down.
Okay.
You don't understand, right? Because with Jinwoo, there hasn't been like anything that says that there is a need for like for S classes to be stronger than they are already.
I mean, after the first hunter got killed, I think that kind of gave a stress level that, you know, there needs to be stronger versions of these characters. If these are supposedly their highest levels that they have and they can be taken out without any of their knowledge, I think that kind of gave that light to, you know, I think that was like more or less the main reason for even having the conference occur, because it's like, this is a problem. We've never actually had this happen, and it's now occurred, and we're not really sure how to handle or deal with that kind of situation. I mean, do you see, am I kind of like answering what you were saying there back? So that's kind of, maybe, a little bit?
Kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe, I don't know.
Mm.
Can you repeat the question?
No, and I am the boss of you now, so.
Okay.
Anywho.
I mean, if you weren't, I wouldn't be here, basically, right? Like,
I would figure you'd still be here, being, you know, a good person and a friend. Maybe, kind of.
You mean a lot of things.
I mean, you are the adult, so just saying. All right. Well, we'll have to see when we get Seraph in if he's got any input on that, just to see how he felt about it. But we'll go ahead. We'll move on here to our next one, since I've wanted to speak with you on this one from these two chapters with the beginning after the end. I don't know if you caught my my guest appearance on her favorite show there with the Otaku Fix people.
Should I just say yes so you feel special?
No, because
and then tell you to recap.
No, I knew you wouldn't play into it. It's all right. I try to pretend.
I have so much time spent reading other things. I literally, I can't have you talking in the background too. So it's not
you know. So we've got Art still in class, but we've now had our first appearance of Lucas in the school with him. And but before we even got to that, we got Art getting basically blackmailed into being a teacher.
Yes.
And also he moves to his next class, which happens to be, I guess it's almost another weapons or combat class, because Art gets in there. It's an advanced class for higher ranked students, and the teacher appears, and he tries to read the teacher, and she instantly just blocks that and notices that he did it, and decides to basically out him in front of everybody that, you know, oh, this is our new professor, da 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 da, and kind of hypes him up a little bit to the point that all the other students get extremely upset, and makes a challenge, or makes a class lesson / challenge out of it, with basically a battle royale, everyone against Art in some way. But now he's got a team co-op school assignment now, and
yeah.
So how is this kid so bad at keeping a low profile?
Who, Art?
Yes. It's only been, we're still in day one of class.
Okay, so it's like this. At this point, if I knew I was so bad at keeping profile, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck all of it. Oh, I was trying to hide all my abilities. Fuck it. Like, I would be like, I don't even care anymore. Like what? Your plan failed and trying to like hide yourself. I'm like, why? I'd be like, oh, hey, I've come back for you, bitch. Like, I was like,
just
like, what?
Throw everything out the window.
Yeah, like just throw it out the window. Just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm already here. Like, I've already failed and tried to keep a low profile. It's time to just just teach this fucking kid a lesson. Like, right? Like, that's what you should be doing, all right?
Okay, Ark, so you're just straight anarchy right away. If my plan's already gone so far down the drain, just anarchy to the wind.
There is no way to salvage this. I might as well just be like, you know what? There's no point in trying to hide it anymore or whatever.
I mean, Lucas doesn't know who he is, so he still kept that part real. The rest of the school doesn't know how actually strong he is, because he's blocked off a few of his other abilities, and you know, no one knows that he's an adventurer either, so his battle experience is going to be higher than most of the other student body as well. So he's got a few things still hidden that are probably important. But
like, as soon as he was made a teacher, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, I better make sure that no one like gives me disrespect at this point. All right, let me show you guys why I'm a teacher. Like, what?
I mean, before that, didn't he already do it? I mean, the first day, he basically helps somebody, gets disrespected, and puts a kid on his ass. He's in the lunchroom, he gets disrespected, puts another kid, basically just pantses another kid, and puts him out.
No, you have to strike fear into all of them immediately. All of them at once.
Wow, okay.
Okay, all right, this is Marine Corps experience, all right? You do it once, and you make sure everyone remembers it from then on to never, ever fuck with you ever again.
Okay, so Ark's already jumping into Sen of Demonic Master talk, and apparently, you know, Triple F Trashero talk, because this is how they operate. Yeah.
You have to close the deal, because if you show any sign of weakness, then it's like, oh, that's why like every other like weird like cultivation story does this thing where they're like, well, I've never heard of you before. I'm like, you know what, bitch? I'm gonna show, like, if that was the case, I'm like, I'm gonna show you that I am a living nuke. Okay, that's why in Cultivation Hero Society, there were people who weren't completely sure yet, because like, oh, it's whatever. I'm like, nah. The cultivator hero here is a bona fide OP motherfucker where like you should not be able to mess with, and he should be like, no, let me just teach you guys that you are all nothing, okay? Because once you set the hierarchy, then no one can mess with you ever again.
I mean, that's not true. We've known that for a fact. Anytime you set a hierarchy, people try to challenge it all the time. What are you playing at? You've read enough stories to know that's not true. Okay, but either way, teacher now challenged, Lucas appearing, anger, hate. Now we've got this we've got basically this mini tournament arc.
I mean, I already know what's gonna happen here, but yeah.
You already know. Oh yeah, that's because you've already read ahead. So
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of the discussions I had over on the other podcast was, just trying to figure out exactly what we think would go down.
What is he gonna do? He's going to use science, okay? Science.
I mean, would he use science?
He is using science.
I mean, how much are we talking here in science?
He's like, oh hey, fire burns because of oxygen. Let me just remove that real fucking quick. Let me.
It is a battle royale against everybody. So I mean, are we saying that he I guess he's gonna target Lucas right the hell away, or because he's not only got to worry about Lucas.
No,
he's also got Tess on his.
He's not gonna hurt Lucas that badly. Okay?
I didn't say he was gonna hurt him, but I'm saying he's gonna target him right away.
I mean, he's fighting against Lucas right now.
I mean, not yet.
Oh, you are a chapter behind then.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, I haven't read today's.
Yes, I was like, no, you're behind. That's what I'm telling you. It's the power of science.
Okay. So the power of science is how we solve this problem. Okay.
Yes.
But okay. So now, did the one thing come up where a bunch of the nobody students show up and try to attack him, and he just wipes them away real fast?
No, it's a 3v3 battle.
Okay, so it is because one of the conditions for everyone to win is he's the main target. So if he gets damaged, then that whole team loses. So they're basically playing partial defense on Arthur.
It's like what is it, like King whatever? It's
not King of the Hill.
No, but it's a 3v3 battle with a leader who's the target.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, having the disciplinary squad on one team, you've got Tess and the student body on the other, and then you've got Lucas and his ilk, and then I think there's maybe two other teams in there as well. So, but granted, everyone is kind of more, outside of specifically Tess, everyone else is basically angry at just him. They're gunning for him. So I figured, they'd let's all team up and kick his ass kind of thing. Since she kind of made it at that point. Yeah. Well, I mean, either way, I kind of figured, I was guessing that maybe that would occur, or it would play out kind of like a normal battle royale where everybody would kind of fight each other, and then we'd see him move through a few individuals before we got to the fight with Lucas, because I knew that would probably be one main target he wants to go after. Did they
no, Lucas comes at him first.
Okay, so he does do the stupid thing and comes at him. All right. I also wondered if they were going to be kind of one-offish battles where it would be we get to see one battle would showcase Tess, one battle would showcase Arthur, that kind of thing. But
I would say this, even though it's team battles, everyone is still fighting 1v1.
Okay, so everyone's still getting their personal time to shine.
Kind of, their battles are happening simultaneously. It is a team battle. Well, it's they're just fighting against other people at the same time.
Yeah, it's a war with smaller micro battles happening all at once, kind of thing. So, yeah. I do need to read that chapter. I did completely forget to grab that one. The day keeps getting away from me. But okay, so how is Arthur at least doing in the battle with Lucas? Is he straight up just toying with him because he knows how easily it is to anger this kid?
No, his elements cannot deal with fire.
What's up?
His elements can't deal with fire very well.
Well, yes, because he decided to lock off the ones that probably would.
Yeah, water and fire.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna guess. I don't know if Lucas seems like he's gotten any more powerful.
Apparently, but I don't know how. But
Well, we do have to remember the history of his family is all experimentation. So it wouldn't surprise me if.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's the power of science.
The power of science will win. So Arthur met up with Senku and just they figured out the best course of action here.
I don't know. I feel like this Okay, so the problem with like what he's going to do here is like, okay, so you came up with this, yeah. Doesn't this just kind of like nullify other like fire magic later on, basically? Yeah. Then how come?
It isn't always used.
Kind of.
I mean, it could be the in between of, because our world is based on magic, where their world is based on science. No one really thought of that kind of thing. So, because I know that's kind of, because I have that knowledge and that's how that should work, and oh, look, it does.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going with that logic.
You'll see what I mean when he starts digging it out, and as soon as he starts implementing it, you'll be like, okay, he says it's kind of dangerous because this is the first time he's doing it, but
I haven't run this test.
Once you figure it out, I'm just gonna say that this kind of nullifies fire magic. Period. But okay.
I mean, there probably has to be some way around it, and it's just because it's, you know, kids doing it that it would work, kind of thing. Because otherwise, you're like, we've seen Arthur's run into other highly intelligent people, so you figure that someone may have thought of the same thing, but no one does it because all fire types kind of know this in the back of their mind, and they avoid it in some manner. But Lucas is an idiot and hot-headed, so of course he'd walk right into whatever trap you led him. But we'll have to see. It'll really depend, because if it turns into the whole thing where it's like, yeah, this could nullify all fire magic, but there's a huge risk involved to do it, so if it fucks up, you're dead, kind of thing, then I see why probably a few people wouldn't do it. Or, you know, it's just like no one thought of it, and Arthur is, you know, the brilliant genius that he is.
No, it's literally because the science has not progressed far enough for anyone to realize this is how this works. Okay,
all right. Well, we'll have to see how that actually pulls all the way out. Anything else on this chapter though?
No.
Did we get to see Tess fight? No, she wasn't in there. Okay, then I guess they were right. We were speculating how many chapters this whole arc would be, at least for this fight. I think I came down to 3. I think someone said more than 5 because they wanted to have like these weird like mini battles that would all be a chapter to themselves. But from the way you've described it, it doesn't sound like it's gonna go that kind of manner.
It depends on how the person wants to.
How Turtle wants to.
I guess adapt it, right?
Well, it's still Turtle. It's still the actual like writer still doing the adaptation. So, yeah, we'll see how he's written that up to be. Either way, I kind of just want to see like Art, and not just Art and Lucas, but Art and Tessa kind of fight up, because we haven't seen what her powers have developed to, and I kind of want to see if she can like show up in any way up to him, since they have had some of the same training together for quite a bit of their life. I would like to see how that's progressed in some manners. But yeah, if you have anything else on that one though? No. All right.
Since you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil it very much.
Oh please, you'd spoil it if I asked you anyway. It's fine. All right. Well, we'll go ahead. We'll move on to our next one here. If you want to talk up with our Descent of the Demonic Master.
What about it?
Well, what do you think about it? You want really, you piece of crap. I hate you so much. You're the fucking worst, I swear.
You don't hate me. Okay, so we have it where we have it where, you know, our main character here has beaten everyone and has basically taken over this new group, and was like, I'm really bad at managing things. I'm just gonna leave it in your care. And the guy's like, wait, really? He's like, yeah, because to me you're useless beyond management. What? Yeah, I don't even want to fight you. Like,
well, you're useless beyond killing.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I like you're not even worth killing. So I'm just gonna be like, nah, it's fine. Fuck that. And he's like, oh well, I'm going to manage this until at some point where I can kill you. And I'm like, really? Do you really think you can? I'm just curious here. Well, but okay.
I mean, he couldn't. And I like how that started off with he just beat everybody.
Yeah, like
would you like to explain exactly how he beat them all?
He ferociously beat everyone. It doesn't really show him beating everyone though.
But he's like murdering all of them. They make comment of theirs like, why is he killing them? And he's like, oh no, he's making an example out of them so that, you know, it
never happens again.
Well, so that any of that he leaves alive or survive are too afraid to ever challenge him.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't think that's needed to be said.
It kind of is, just for the way the story kind of plays. Because slice of life, wholesome slightly, doesn't usually come with, you know, murderous manslaughter. In such a
I don't know what you're talking about. There's plenty of murderous manslaughter and wholesome slice of life stuff. It's fine.
All right, so we've got one full gang down, and it's now being managed by an appointee of the gang that is not worth killing, but is driven solely by getting him to remember his name, or at least say his name, since he didn't.
I guess.
Yeah. As well as his methodology of getting the gang to do what he did. But yeah, so that situation is somewhat resolved in a manner of speaking. And I know that
and he goes and visits the waifu at the hospital, and then he embarrasses her, and then she's like, there's no reason for me to like, oh, why, what did she exactly say? She was like, there's no reason for you to be here, so she here anymore. So she kicks him out, and then he, you know, he shows up at nighttime to like kind of like fix her key deviation.
He comes back to like check on her to see, and he does see that like her key is messed up and he can't quite fix it, but he can kind of like make it a little better.
Yeah, so then the next day she's like, oh no, how come I feel so much better? It's not like he visited me or anything. And then she thinks it's like an emotional thing and not like him physically fixing her on the inside. So then now she shows up at college apparently, and she's like, hey, husbando. And everyone's like, why is she here? Wasn't she like, hey, I don't want to have a scandal involved because I'm an actress, but then immediately turns around.
Immediately she does something scandal.
Yeah, you're like, wait, I know you were like this beforehand, so which I kind of questioned as to like why it was fine with her doing this, because the usual plot is always like, oh yeah, we can't be together because I'm an actress,
I'm
right? And there's
in some way.
There's the idol scandal stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, is that where we're gonna go with this? But then immediately she just negates it, and you're like, oh, I forgot you were like this too before. So why? What? I know you're coming out lies, so you just push him out of the room, but like, still.
I mean, it's kind of like, why would I worry about a scandal when I just survived basically getting crushed to death?
I guess.
Priorities a little bit, like what could any of these people possibly do that wasn't just done to me? Yeah. Not to mention, you know, out of most boyfriends, this one can kind of murder anybody he comes up to if need be. Yeah. What about the scene with the family? Did you at all realize that it had been like a week? Like he'd actually been away?
No, it had not occurred to me that he'd been gone for a week.
Yeah, I didn't think he was like out of town or anything. I thought he was.
How hard would it have just been to tell his family that, oh yeah, he was in a car accident, because there was an actual car accident, like with rubble and stuff, and he was. And instead, he was like, "No, let me come up with some sort of
the plan is I was out of town, and my phone was lost.
Yeah,
and I couldn't use any payphone or find a person."
Oh, you're bad at this excuse, aren't you?
I mean, we've always known that he's not been great with his social skills. Why wouldn't it at all seem that he wouldn't be good with that either?
I don't know. Maybe he can surprise us.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Has he so far?
Oh, we're talking about the main character. Oh, I was talking about the assistant.
Oh God, yeah.
Because the assistant was the one who came up with the excuse.
Well, yes, I know the assistant
which is why I was like, oh, are we talking about the assistant? Because like I understand why our main character here is an idiot about that, but the assistant is even worse.
I mean, it's harder to say. There's times where he's an actual like straight up idiot about things, and there's other times where he's more brilliant. Yes, but I mean, both of them, like, he didn't either like get that idea from him and go, that's idiotic, that sounds dumb, like no one would believe that. He just went with it too. So I mean, it just goes to show that level of you know,
I mean, it shows a level of trust.
I mean, it's definitely a level of trust, but there's also like a level of competency that, you know, he wouldn't think that like this doesn't sound at all real. Like, I could come up with a myriad of other things that would hopefully, you know, be more realistic to why I haven't been seen for a week than just, here's a series of unfortunate things that occurred and that seem more ridiculous as you go on. And this explains why I wasn't, you know, in contact with you for a week. I didn't even like call my friends and have them talk to you on my behalf or anything. It's just real bad. Yeah. It was nice to see him get scolded right after just talking about his.
I mean, like, yeah, he still has like a real life too, so it's fine.
Yeah. Just that
everyone
that
forgets that
reality.
You know, someone has. There's always the ultimate power of your parents.
Oh, the ultimate power of parentage.
Yes.
It never goes away, no matter how strong in the world of demonic cultivating you get. Your parents somehow ultimately are always more of the monster than you'll ever be.
Yes.
Those close touches to home. But I still
mean, they're Asian parents.
I'm so thankful sometimes. And then I remember, and then I'm like, oh wait, that may be even better. Thank you for hurting me. Anywho, yeah. So at least this was a good end to this part of that arc. Just them messing with him, them getting too close, and now them getting an ultimate lesson, and him basically making another group that he owns more than anything. He now has control of 2 gangs, essentially.
Yes.
So his empire forever continues to flourish more and more.
I mean, he's now like basically the leader of South Korea, basically. I think
they said
right?
he's like the leader of the Marshall Korea.
Yeah.
As well as the leader of the, you know, underground with the gangs. So, yeah.
And then like the big boss is like, how come he just doesn't take over?
Yeah. He just why doesn't he just be a good like?
No, he's like, he has control of everything. He could just take control of this now, and I'd be perfectly fine too. Like, yes.
But it's not what he wants. He wants a quiet, simple, calm life.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Not when you're like half a living god. Everyone knows that.
No.
So, do we see like at least the next chapter continuing with that whole random show up at school, or is it just like this is just how we wanted to end on this wacky note? We'll reference it, but we'll move on to a new story bit here.
No, I think it'll stay that way.
Okay, you think it'll just roll with that one? I
think it'll roll with it because like it's, you know, Sam the Demonic Master is more slice of life than anything.
Yes, it is more slice of life than it is like a seinen or a shonen. But yeah, that's why we don't even get to see really see the fights. It's more like we see you see flashes of it, and then you see the aftermath.
Yeah, like that's how it's always, all the fights have been so far.
Yeah, the main driving force is not the fights themselves as much as it's just what they mean later on.
Yes.
But yeah, so I will say I am at least impressed with the organizations that he's run into. They've covered up all the incidents, especially the amount of bodies that I can only imagine have been either buried / cremated, as well as the news media not at all covering half of the things that seemingly keep occurring. You know, I mean, a bridge collapse, and I think that was pretty slightly well quieted, and I don't know how many, you know, other things around the town.
That's none of it ever happened. It's fine.
I don't think that's how that works.
It's fine.
All right. Anything more on Descent of the Demonic Master though for these 2 chapters?
No, not really.
No, not really. All right. Well, we'll move on here from one hero to the worst of them all with Fff-Class Trashero.
What? It's not the worst of them all.
Yeah, you're not ever going to convince me of that one. But Kangso is at the, I don't know, what do we call him, the Angel's stronghold.
Yes, I
guess. With the Chaos Dragon. He's already basically infiltrated, and they are now in the middle of surrendering. And as always, it's what have you done for me lately kind of thing. What can you give me in offer of, you know, me not killing you?
Yes. And
they offer up these 3 orbs. And
no, they offer one of the 3 orbs.
Oh, that's right. Well, they offer up 3, as in he can take one of them, but the one that opens up turns into a summon for, what is it? Is a guardian angel or is it an archangel?
It's like a sexy angel. Okay.
Her name was like, yeah.
Her name is like literally like sexy angel.
It's like, yeah, it's like, oh God, it's like Sexorel or something like that.
Yeah, it was like so ridiculous that I looked at it. I was like, wait, is this really what we're going with? Yes. Oh, okay.
Yes, because why not? Everything else in this world is just completely silly and fucking innate. Why not do this?
No, because everything in this has been so far like, oh guys, remember it's an isekai, and then our main character is always like, I don't give a fuck, it's an isekai. I don't want to do isekai.
But you are. Yeah. But well, he doesn't. Well, just like you, he doesn't like the gift, so he basically destroys it.
No, he's about to destroy it when the sword absorbs it.
Yes. Well, I was gonna go with the same way. It basically gets destroyed. It gets absorbed by the sword, but not only that, all of the orbs get absorbed by the sword.
Yes, and then it also absorbs his.
It also absorbs waifu, rice cake.
And then
why does that sound really bad?
I mean, it's because she tastes like a rice cake.
It still sounds really bad.
It's fine.
Hey, look who it is.
I mean, it's Seraph. Hey. It's fine. It's not like I use your real name anyways.
It's showtime!
You should not have a soundboard.
Oh, this is what happens when we give him that.
Too late. I'm already allowed for one, boys.
Yep. Welcome, Seraph.
Hello. How are you guys doing today?
We are on the Fff Trashero right now.
Oh, man.
Yep. We just see what?
He enjoys it.
I didn't say it didn't. That is not an excuse. That's not even a good reason.
My dude was like, there goes the fucking teacher's hall, and they all fucking like combined together for the final prize into his sword. That shit was badass.
Except that it has wings, and he's like, "What's up with this crappy aesthetic?
What is this shit?"
He completely hates the sword's transformation. He thinks it's
like,
garbage.
Partner, what happened to you? No.
He's so hurt by that aesthetic transformation. But in turn,
honestly, I am too. It looked just fine the way it looked before.
Oh, what the single master heart sword there?
I really see with the way it's transforming out. I feel like we're gonna get to the part where it's like, oh no, it does like the reverse, and then it becomes like this
anti-dark sword.
Yeah, because I was like, this is where we're going with this, right? This is where like the progression for the sword has to go, right?
I mean,
because it's the bugged out sword.
Yes,
it's
not
the original. It's like the glitch sword.
It's essentially the failure sword. It's more or less. It's like their first attempt, and they're like, oh well, we'll just toss that away. No one will ever use it, kind of thing. But I mean, it's not hard to see that it's going to be turning to an evil sword, because right after it absorbs all three of those orbs and absorbs waifu, it turns her into a summon, and she's now a chaos angel. So I'm just like, okay. I mean, the sword grew wings. Why doesn't this thing suddenly go evil too? But yeah, now she's bound to the sword, it seems, because he like sticks her right back into it, and. Yeah.
He actually has like a companion that can come with him now.
He has a full-on companion now that he can bring with him. Yes.
He was sad at the transformation. He looks at this angel and goes, "Go back in."
Yeah, literally just go away. Like it's just a reminder of his sadness.
So good.
Oh my god. But yeah. After that
and then he gets his new grade, which is
well, it's not even good. He kills everybody in the tower. And then he's presented with the grades, and you know, it starts giving him the like whole spiel of a hero and their journey and da 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 da, and you know,
he doesn't even care anymore. He's like,
he's like these are great grades.
This doesn't even surprise me anymore. I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah, he's he's accepting of the reset, but surprisingly enough, it's not a reset. He's pulled into basically Battle Royale Town once again. And this time, it gives him the quest of, you know, a hero's journey is never really end. Blah blah blah. You can kill everybody here and gain their power, or you can work with everybody to try and figure out how to get out of here.
And he's just like, so I need to leave two people alive.
So all I heard was I need to kill three. I need to kill everybody but two.
Yeah.
And I've completed the goal.
Who's the lucky two? Let's find out.
Well,
who's the lucky lady today?
Well, I mean, it's probably going to be someone who grovels hard enough, if anything. Granted, I don't know. He kind of hates everybody equally in certain manners. Even the people that pretty much plead at his feet, he still doesn't give a crap about. So everyone's open game.
God, my man just out here for blood.
I mean,
and trying to go home. That's like the one thing about this whole thing. He just wants to go home.
It's just a trip home. It just goes to show how incredibly difficult and stupid it is to get out of an isekai at times. How did you at least feel with this entire chapter there, Ark? I know you love your boy and all his sadistic nature.
And his glory?
I mean, it's fine. I understand.
Do you understand? Do you really?
I understand.
You somehow you somehow mesh. You compare with this. You relate to this character.
I understand.
He knows how it goes.
Well, as long as someone gets him, that's all it is, I guess. But so next chapter, we're gonna see a full battle royale play out, or is we're just gonna see him just sit back and watch people kill each other, and he's just like, "Oh,
it's a one-man show.
I'll just
watch this man just massacre folks, bro. He's gonna summon the dragon. He's gonna summon his chaos angel to get some level. He's about to go off.
Was he able to take the dragon with him?
Probably.
I mean, because I think this.
I mean, it didn't show up with him, so
it wasn't with him there, and I think the only thing that he can summon is Angel Girl. So.
It's kind of sad, man. I really like the dragon.
He gets administrative abilities though.
Well, they said he got 2 administrative roles.
Yeah,
now
where they're like, wait, how do you have that? You're not supposed to have that, and he's like, shh.
Yes.
Don't question it.
Yes, quiet, very quiet, as I slowly stick this knife in your neck. Kingso, so much. Well, either way, we've there wasn't too much to just talk in just this one solid chapter. We're still waiting for the end of the insanity of what's going to come next, as we always continue to play through with his adventure. I'm still waiting for it's not Professor Morales. It's just substitute, right? Or what does he call her again? His side
trainee.
Miss trainee. Yeah,
it's fine. She's Navi. Okay, it's fine.
She's Navi. She's just
at this point she is, bro. I'm waiting for her to
because
pop up.
She's not like she's not like annoying. Like
I mean, she's not. Oh.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, no, she's not. She's not doing that. She's not constantly nagging him about doing the right thing, and you know, is this what you're doing okay? She kind of just rolls with it. So, I mean, I'm just wondering when she might gain any bit of like sudden sentience to the situation, or she's just, no, this is cool, right? This is how this is supposed to play out.
I'm still leaning toward that she's God.
She's secretly the god of everything.
Yes, bro. That's what I'm leaning toward.
He's basically slowly
because
like God.
If you remember that panel that they weren't able to find any staffing at all, and then she shows up, that proves that like she's not really staff.
Yeah.
She just kind of like
just pops out of nowhere, like, hey, I guess I'll take care of this. Well, I mean, we haven't seen Professor Morales in a little bit. I know she's still watching in the wings somewhere, but
in anger.
Yes,
at
always constant anger. But yeah, so his power continues to rise in so many ways. God, I really feel like I should like check the light novel out for some of this, because I know it's apparently way more wild in there what he does to a lot of these test subjects and other players.
Yeah, it's very explicit.
Yeah, like that. I don't think it would work so well in this, but either way. Anything else on this last chapter though for Trashero?
Nah, bro, I was completely satisfied.
You were completely satisfied? Alright.
100% satisfied.
As I would figure. Death and chaos always brings a smile to anyone's face if you live.
My man's just trying to go home, and this is the way they brought it upon him, man. He could have lived long enough to be a hero, but instead he lived long enough to become a villain.
I mean, I think he already kind of started out there.
Nah. When he first jumped into this world, he was all happy-go-lucky. He was big vibing until everything kind of ruined it for him.
He played the hero a little too long.
Yup, and then he fucking turned into the villain.
I guess. I mean, I guess this is what happens. But all right, we'll go ahead. We'll move.
What happens when you can Groundhog's Day?
Man, yeah. All right, we'll move on here. I have, but we'll move on here to our next one. Since you came just in time, Seraph, since we were going to talk about this one, or at least mostly Ark is going to talk about this one with the God of High School.
All right. We got
a comment. We got a long, not even a long one. We just got 8 comments.
We got multiple comments from someone who's watching us. You know, first off, I'm proud to say that, you know, I'm glad that you're at least listening to this. But apparently you're like really mad at us for just criticizing this, and apparently confusing criticism with like us talking shit about this. You know, just because we're offered criticism doesn't mean that we don't like God of High School. Like, God of High School was good at some point. It's just now
we have in the beginning. It was great.
We just
now
have
I'm just confused as to what's going on.
Yeah, like we just have problems with where it's at right now. And for you and anyone else who holds the opinion that if you don't like something, you should just not read it, blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, but the problem is our criticism isn't because we don't like it. All right, and
no.
You need to understand that. All right, we if we did not like it, okay, I read a lot of shit. I read a lot of fucking shit. All right. And if I did not like it, I would not waste my fucking time with this. Do you understand this? I have way more other things to read at the same time. So if you thought that I didn't like it, then you should just maybe understand that you should take criticism a little bit more constructively. That's all it is.
There's also
and before we go with that, you know, going with that, you know, is same thing with, you know, God of High School here. We just want to provide criticism to make it smoother and a better story. We had high expectations for it because the beginning was so well done. Now we're just at the point here where like, okay, this is tiring because we've done this before. Can we get over this because we've done this before?
Yeah. And as always, it's an opinion piece. You can take lots of salt with some of this. You know, everyone's gonna have a different ideal of what they're gonna like and hate on all of these things. We tried.
No, even as an opinion piece, our opinion is based on like factual stuff that's happening in it. If you want to debate as to like, oh, you think it's good, it's written well, then tell me how it's written well. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe like really like if
I know.
if I'm missing something, I am willing to say that I'm wrong because I missed something. But like
you have to point it out. You need
you have to point
you
it
need
out.
to actually state it.
Yeah, if you're like this person just decided to say like 8 posts about like us not reading it or like giving shit because blah 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 because apparently we hurt your feelings for telling people that this is poorly written. That's not how that works. Okay.
Yeah. We've definitely. I mean, we've made it over 200, 300, 400 pages of this. If this was really that bad, I don't think we would have made it over 100 chapters.
Yeah,
would have probably
I would have given up already within like the first. On the webtoon, maybe like first 10, 20. Okay. No, this is like if this was as bad as was it Hachimaru Samurai 8, right?
Samurai 8, yeah.
Okay, that was 8 chapters. I gave that 8 chapters before I was like, oh my gosh, this is god awful. All right.
That's fucking amazing, man.
And then everyone tells me that, oh, once you get past those 8 chapters, it gets real good. And I'm not going to tell you this. I'm like, no, it's the same exact problem. If I had to tell someone that they have to torture themselves through through this bit to get to a good part, it is not worth it. All right, it's like when you have that one friend who tells you to watch an anime and there's this one fucking lame ass character and then your one friend's like, dude, don't worry, he gets better. You're like, but when? You're like, episode 50. I'm like, I should not have to watch 50 episodes before this character gets good. No, okay. It's just like, look, if you're watching Neon Genesis Evangelion, Shinji is a shitty character throughout the entire thing and expects him to be a shitty character throughout the entire thing. But you at least understand he's a shitty character throughout the entire thing. You should not have to tell someone that a character gets better, all right? There's a difference between like a character who is like well written and who's good, and then also like a good likable character,
yes.
All right? Like you can write a character that's well written and not be well liked. Okay, that's how you write like a villain, like an actual good villain. Yes. All right,
to a villain.
You're not supposed to like them.
Yeah.
So so just like this, you can have things that are well written and not liked. All right.
Yes, very true. But yeah, so now that we've gotten that out of the way and hopefully cleared up those things, like I said, at any point you can leave a constructive comment below and completely blast us and tell us that we're wrong and give the reasons why, and we'd gladly go over them if they are well thought out in that manner. Yeah, no problem. We're not the end all be all authority on that. So yeah, if there's any series that we have that we don't like, we potentially won't cover it, even if it is enjoyed by a ton. We have a few that are like that, but either way, these 2 newest chapters, Seraph, did you already read those?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. You want to mind recapping for us?
Bro, the world is literally ending.
I mean, it didn't already
end.
An
entire new Korea.
Just a new Korea? You're using
I was gonna say
they're using the whole Earth.
Sucking up the current Earth.
They're using all the Earth to make one Korea and nothing else.
Yeah, it's just one Korea.
One supermass Korea.
Yes, I'd be fine with that. I would be perfectly fine with that.
I mean, I'm not saying I'd be against it, but still.
At this point, that's what Mookhyang Park is shooting for, is what I'm guessing.
Okay. So we've got an end of the world scenario finally.
We got an X-Class scenario. Or XK class.
XK class scenario. Alright. What else we got going on?
Fucking Mirai and fucking Dai got married.
Yes, the wedding that we wanted all throughout the world. That we finally
and now
got
it's
to
just,
see. And now right after
literally a bunch of fucking mortals about to fight God.
Our marriage is quickly followed by a honeymoon of sudden and instant annihilation. That's what our marriage brings forth.
Oh my god. I'm so confused. Why do they have to add the marriage bit? I don't know why.
I wondered why they wouldn't do that like at the end of things, like
everyone like after the world gets solved, after everything is solved and just dandy. Then we can get married and actually have a proper honeymoon.
I mean, it is at least different in that manner, because that's usually how I would expect that to go. But, you know, to get married right in the middle of the annihilation of the world, it's like, that's different-ish. It doesn't happen every time, so... yeah.
No, and then you know what's even worse? We raise the expectations of a kid about what a honeymoon is, and he's like, "Oh shit, that's cool. I want one now." And I'm like, "No, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works."
That's not how this goes, young man. I'm sorry.
The honeymoon is a fight against God.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, I know that Park has now convinced Gaia to give him the ability to recreate the world now, and we've got I mean, it's just basically the new humans. They're a bunch of kids, and whatever of the guards he has left, which I'm not sure who of them are still around, since they've been kind of going out and trying to clean up as they can, but they run into enough people and end up getting killed themselves. So I mean, who do we have as the final army here? It's
the horse.
It's W.E.B.T.O.O.N.
No. We also need to talk about the bit where like the ship rises, the Ark rises out of
the Ark Noah.
Yeah.
Wait, what? One more time.
The Ark.
Okay. Like Noah's Ark rises out of like.
Yes.
Out of the earth.
Yeah. Did you not see this bit?
I didn't see that bit.
Okay, it's at the end where they revealed that what's his name, the fox guy,
W.E.B.T.O.O.N.
Yeah, W.E.B.T.O.O.N. has been working on reviving the Jade Emperor's Ark, his ship, that is apparently one of like the ultimate weapons or whatever it is. And then it rises.
Good old Christianity coming in to save the day with ultimate weapon
out of the earth, and I was like, okay, I feel like we could have talked about this before at some point, but.
We could have had foreshadowing about a goddamn Noah's Ark coming about.
I feel like there should have been something about this, but it was.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that, I was like, but why?
No. That's not the part that's about why. Jimmy.
It's because this author really likes Spriggan.
No, the part that became.
Okay.
There you go.
The part that became but why was like this. It's the engine is fueled by 10,000 monster hearts, and you're like, wait, what do you mean by 10,000 monster hearts? Then they make a reference as to like, oh yeah, these are all of like the subordinates of the Monkey King at some point after the Monkey King retaliated against heaven, and these are all the dead like monsters that were his minions. And I was like, wait, so these are all like the dead monkeys and like all the dead like demons and like monsters that used to fight with the Monkey King? Yes. All right. Okay, I'm just going to tell you this. This is why we had this talk before. I'm just going to tell you this. I get it. It's cool to have a reference to the old like Monkey King
original
stuff,
story.
okay?
Yes.
But the problem here is, unless I have read enough or like know enough or like have actually read the entirety of the Monkey King, it's the same exact problem when I brought up with the horse being a dragon last time. I wouldn't have known that unless I read the story. Not enough people here know the story of the Monkey King and these little minute details to be like, oh yeah, when Monkey King fought against the heavens, like even though Monkey King technically won out of that fight anyways, this is like his army was devastated and destroyed. Okay, cool. Like unless you've read the story, you would not have known these details to like be like, oh yeah, look at this Easter egg that you should have known before. Okay, I would not have known that. You're using stories from another story as foreshadow for this, and I'm like, this is problematic. Okay, you have to do an actual like lead into this for us.
The setup was missed.
Yeah.
The setup was missed a little bit.
Technically here, like they show like a flashback as to what it is, but I'm like, yeah, but this is another problem where like I'm getting more flashbacks. I shouldn't have to have a flashback for this. I feel like you could have set up the ship so much long ago for us to know. Like we're now at the point where like I compare it to like the ending of Bleach, where it's like, is this the Quincy War all over again? Where I know that at least that Kubo was like being forced to rush the ending, and he purposely ended it the way he did because he was like, no, this is what I wanted to end with, so you guys get no context for anything. But here I'm like, I'm not getting any context or anything because it's referencing stuff that like it's like, oh yeah, you should have already read this at some point. I'm like, should I? Like,
I mean, I think the foreshadowing was just in the wrong spot in general, just because we knew that Il Pollo was planning something, but I thought it was the whole goal was originally.
I thought it was the Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail, yeah. I thought that was the thing that he was trying to build. And then, well, also in the previous chapter, they had mentioned that, oh yeah, he was also working on secretly rebuilding the Wi-Fi network.
Yes.
Like that, and then the Holy Grail. I'm like, okay, so these are the plans that are, but now it's like, nope, this was all in part of to get to Noah's Ark, and I'm like, that's the part that would like make me shrug. Go like, how would that have been? Like, how would I have known or guessed or any of that? But like you said, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be a reference in reference to something else from, you know, the main story of the Monkey King, and I'm like, that's super confusing.
and then another problem with God of High School is it gets confusing because it's not just referencing story bits from like Monkey King. It references story bits from like a bunch of other mythology, which is like, that's why we have the Holy Grail, and that's why we have Noah's Ark, and we have blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, there's a problem here when like you're mixing mythologies, and now I have a problem with trying to keep track as to what's what here. All right, you.
This is when like author's notes are usually like super appreciated. Like, hey, wiki page this is.
Maybe it could just be written better instead of author's notes. I'm just saying.
I mean, there are times where it's like,
author here does not need to, like, okay, if you were going to end it already, you could have just ended it. We've been fine, all right. But now that you're stretching it, take your time with it then and actually like write it out well. That's the thing here. Just write it out well, all right? People are already reading it. They'll still be reading it. You'll be fine, all right? But we have problems with reused plots. We have problems with references to things that like no one would have ever have known unless like they have references to the old material, to like previously old material that I'm assuming most people have never ever read, all right? I that's thousands upon thousands of like light novel chapters that I can't imagine anyone having gone through to read that. I am not the main character from Omniscient.
It's Omniscient Readers, bro. It's ways to survive. That's all it is. The world's gonna end, and we're all gonna be screwed for not having read all like 3,000 chapters.
Yeah, all 3,000 chapters of the Monkey King saga, right? Oh,
Seraph, you better prepare.
And then, even then, people understand that the story of the Monkey King is not about the Monkey King. The story of the Monkey King is the journey to the West, and it's about the monk. Okay, it is about the monk. The Monkey King is like the most famous character out of that story, but it makes no sense that he's the most famous character out of that story because he's not the main character.
But he's the most interesting.
I know he's the most interesting.
And that's why.
Because he's the only one who has like character, all right? What do you do with a monk who's like, nah, don't do that stuff, please, because I'm a monk.
That's why we got Dragon Ball.
Like, yeah, right?
We fixed these problems. It's okay.
And then every other character in Journey to the West is a shitty character like Piggy, who's like, nah, don't believe in the Monkey King because he tricked you before, and you're like, Pixie, we literally just went through this. You know that I have a crown on my head that makes it so that I can't lie to him. He's obviously tricking you. That wasn't a demon. That was a really hot lady that he transformed into a demon to kill. And I'm like, all right, if you believe in Pixie, I'm just telling you. Oh, you believe in Pixie? You're an idiot. Okay, and that's a problem with. That's also like a problem with like with Journey to the West. When you read that stuff, you're like, I feel like you're just creating drama for drama's sake, and I have no idea why either. All right.
Well, we're currently creating problems for problem's sake in this one.
Which is also problematic. Just because the original source material is bad does not mean that you should continue being that too. Please.
We have to keep the tradition alive somehow. Anyhow, anything else on those two chapters besides what we've got so far?
No.
No? Did we get it all out? Are we prepared for the new level of salt comments? I only hope so.
No. I would love a new level of salt comments. Okay? At least be like have a level of like actual evidence as to where your salt comes from, instead of just being mad at me because apparently I hurt your feelings by putting out the facts of the story instead of like. It's not like, okay, tell me if I'm wrong, if when I'm pointing these things out that like this is not actually what's happening. Like tell me that I'm wrong, that this is not what's happening, that we didn't get a reference to the monk's horse, which we've never seen before, but now he's a character and we're like, who are you and why are you important? Please tell me why it isn't a problem that like Satan showed up and then mysteriously someone put them in this like hyperbolic time chamber room that doesn't make a difference because Mookhyang Park finds them basically immediately. Right? Like, what was the point of that? What was the point of like, you know, like anything else here? What was the point of the wedding? What was the point? Like, if you're telling me that there's and don't tell me that, oh, you should just wait till the end for the pieces to come together. I'm like, no, you can't do that because the pieces have to like actually fit in the first place. You shouldn't just be throwing pieces out there and then trying to like mash them together at the end and be like, oh yeah, see guys, now it all makes sense. I'm like, no, because it was the pieces didn't like fit before and now you're just jamming them together and now they're like plot holes as to like, okay, now we have plot holes because now you brought up these other characters which I had no context of reference before. So then now you start asking, okay, so then if you would bring up these old characters, how come you haven't brought up these other old characters? Or like, how come you haven't brought up like this other mythology or something? Simple is best for a reason, because once you start getting like overly complicated with too many characters, then like who am I supposed to know who's who? I did not even realize that. I was like, oh yeah, that's the Dragon Prince before, until like
they actually stated it out loud, kind of thing.
Stated that out loud, and like
because he looks like a tiger more than a dragon.
Yeah, I was like, how am I supposed to know who this character is? All right. I don't want exposition expounded at me, please, to just try to jam things together.
All right, Ark. I know that you're on a full tirade right now.
Reader should have to be able to piece the puzzle themselves together, please.
Well, after all of that, as I said before, definitely leave comments below about that. I'm sure we'll enjoy the new level that we'll get from this all. I think we should probably do a rambling just on this entirely, but I want to keep moving on here to our next one though. That all right with you, Ark? You good?
I stopped.
Okay.
He's like, I'm done.
The wind inside me is finally subsiding. All right, let's move over here with Inso's Law. I think we only got one chapter in this one.
Yes.
Just an end off from everything else as well. With Danai having outcome her situation and kind of finally calming down and things seemingly getting back to normal at some level. I'm trying to remember everything that occurred there. I know that she was walking with the one, not Yinhan. One of the princes there, or one of the kings.
Oh, the white hair prince.
Yep, back to her place, and they had like a mini discussion, if anything, if not. But I don't remember what happened with everybody else. Ark.
What?
Do you remember what else happened in there besides them walking back home?
He says, "I'm gonna hug you," and then I'm gonna hug you for X amount of seconds because I can't do it any longer than that. And she's like, she
laughs in his face.
She laughs because she's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, he's basically confessing to you, but all right, let's go.
You mean again? For a second time?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that's basically where it ends, right?
More or less. They don't really focus. I don't believe they focus on anybody else too much. I know the rest of the school gets the message from the one girl, and she basically says she's gonna leave, and like nothing else is really spouted off beyond that. Oh god, what's her name again? Blondie, I know, is back in class. I cannot remember her name.
Lee Ruda.
Thank you. I know that he showed up back in class from his little espionage mission that he was placed on, and they shut down the cafe. Everything else is pretty much calmed down, and yeah, I mean, I think we're back to like an equilibrium right now until the next situation that comes up. But yeah, it was pretty much a short chapter. There wasn't too much to really bite on in that, I don't believe. We didn't really get set up for anything new entirely, but hopefully we'll see what comes next from the chain of laws that she's gonna have. I know that I mean, outside of the Kings, he's the only one that's actually made a confession to her, but I don't think any of the others have, or they at least have stated they won't, because they know like it won't lead anywhere. So yeah, anything from that chapter though from you two? I know I was super short on that. I know that there wasn't too much to try to bite on in it.
No, there wasn't a lot. You know, she cried a bit. We
got a somber moment. She cried. We got back to a funny level, and then it's kind of like, okay, we're done for now.
Yeah, you know, it was a quick chapter. The status quo of the plot of the story remains the same.
Yeah,
basically, yeah.
Yeah, we're all back.
We have progressed a bit where I guess the progression of the Four Kings is a thing where we understand that, well, we always knew beforehand, but like now we actually see where like, no, the Four Kings are progressing in where their plot is supposed to be. And their plot is she's the main character and she doesn't realize it yet. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So going back to the normal, regular schedule.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah. Just everything's more focusing on her. Things are more happening to her with the whole situation rather than it happening around Yero Yang.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know when we'll eventually get to the realization. Are we at all getting close to the time for the disappearance again?
Is it almost March in the series?
I don't know. I don't think they've stated a date yet, but I think we've been through a few
are we
months.
talking about whether or not we're getting a hiatus again?
No, not the hiatus.
No, not the hiatus.
The time when
but
she,
like
the time
when she goes back to the real
The
world.
real world and she disappears.
I thought she said it's kind of like a random event.
I thought
it happens like once a year.
I thought that, yeah, it happens once a year, but I think it's happened specifically close to around the same time.
Maybe I don't know. I don't remember that, but maybe I guess it'll happen soon. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted because that's like
so
the one
sad.
event. Well, I
so
mean,
sad.
Since she's aware of it now, though, she might actually try to do something. Like if she may try to like return to her own home and, you know, collect something, or, you know, find out like what's causing the weird slips between the two places.
It's fine. I don't think there's gonna be any actual real progress with that. So.
All right. I mean, I just wondered because that's like the one big thing.
If another time slip happens, another world slip happens, it'll be like a everyone basically almost forgets her again, except having a feeling of like emptiness, and then they kind of piece it together and be like, using the power of friendship, they bring her back or something, you know, something like that.
The power of remembering friendship will pull you into our world again.
Yeah.
If only. Well, we'll see what happens. All right, then. Well, let's keep moving on here. Over from the law, we'll move over to the land with Lord Olympus. The
realm of the gods.
The realm of the gods. We got a little bit of darkness in this one. After the whole, I wouldn't say scuffle, but the appearance of both Artemis and Apollo's mother.
Yes.
Lotte, I think her name is?
Yeah. After she appears, I'm guessing she may have heard the news around that was happening between Persephone and Apollo, and of course Apollo playing, you know, the super bastard move of trying to be the victim. It moves over with a nightmare, or Hades trying to sleep, and him having a nightmare. Very specifically, Persephone being eaten by his dad.
Yeah, but
yeah,
by Kronos.
And
she's like, no, don't worry, Kronos is
down
there.
At first, I like where he's
he can't hurt you, and then we see that, you know, her little tree thing,
her
has
tree
been
that
bleeding.
is still like all wrapped around the building and apparently extends all the way below Tartarus into the realm where they're keeping Kronos captured. It starts to basically, the petals start to fall onto him and he takes notice.
Yeah, Kronos is like, oh, you brought me a harvest goddess, didn't you? And then, yeah, so yeah.
The foreshadow of the foreshadow.
You know what? I'm glad that at least we're at this point here where the story has, like, this is really divergence from, like, actual lore. So,
well, yeah, it's incredibly divergent from real lore, which is okay. It's a reinterpretation of a lot of those mythologies, and that's fine. I enjoy that. And I like that we are getting not only the gods, but still more titans that are still around, even though through most mythology they're dead.
No, in when it's explained in Greek and Roman mythology, when you say dead, it's they do not die.
Permanently
they just become they just become like
permanently trapped, or
yeah, they just become irrelevant in the main, in like how the world works now. Is what it is.
It's just more or less their version of death.
The idea of what these gods are is just no longer necessary.
No longer necessary.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I guess that's how you kill them, you know, kill a god.
Yes, I understand that. But I'm just using it for the broader term without having to go into the deep definition. But yeah, the whole thing with, you know, Demeter explaining exactly why there are the harvest gods are, or at least fertility goddesses are so sought after, why she was afraid for Persephone, and then us getting that explanation of, you know, the curse line of Zeus and Hades' family and how that plays out now just comes back into the forefront again now, but this very specifically seemingly being perpetrated by potentially his dad coming back.
Yeah.
Which even adds another layer to like Hades' own personal torture, is like, because like we talked before, when he talked to, like, he'd been swallowed, he was inside of his dad the entire time, and his dad would talk to him. You know, because he was in there a lot longer than any of his other brothers and sisters, because he was put in there like first.
Yes, he was the first to be.
He was the first to go in, and the fact that he has all of that trauma, not mentioning the physical scars, but he's also responsible more or less for holding that very being in his own realm.
Yes.
So that whole mentality, I'm like, okay, I get more now why he acts extra timid, even more so.
He's the one closest to where their dad is right now.
Yeah, which is super weird, like that like you would force this on him as well, even though it's like he's got the most damage from it. So it's just like, oh, that's super great. You're the jailer for your abuser.
Yeah, that's like that weird story the other day where Peter was talking about, like, oh yeah, you know, before COVID was found out, you know, this woman was like being in the same house as her abuser, and then the court has to call the cops. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what that story is, isn't it? Like, it's like, oh yeah, are you living with your abuser? No. Yes.
I mean, this is more, I'm the jailer of the abuser, but I'm forced to still be around him because of this weird hierarchy that I've agreed to.
No, he didn't. It's hard to say. I think the way they explain it in Lord Olympus is he didn't really agree to it, right? It was like the Fates said it was his fate, basically, right?
Was it that the Fates like deemed it so?
Yeah.
Because I still thought it was split up between the three of them by Zeus. And it just kind of worked that way a little bit. But I can always go back and look through to be sure, because I don't remember the Fates actually talking too much like this, if that's what he was supposed to do. But I know we've only had a few times like actually running into them, so I shouldn't find a hard time like getting back to that very section. But either way, things do move forward though from there, as well as we get another side story, but this time with Minith, and more specifically how she met Hades and her mentality. Yeah, I've been up and down with, you know, especially with you arc with the talk of like, you know, trying to like make a character that we're already supposed to hate, and then like keep adding on the layers.
Try to
of,
make
like,
them better.
Not even not make them better, but add on more layers of why we need to continue to keep hate them. It's hard to tell if this story is going to be that same thing, just because we've seen Minith go.
No, you know, I'll be honest.
Direction.
It's not like I hate Minith.
I don't hate Minith. I think she's got a very effed up complex, and she has bad friends.
Oh yeah, you know, she's just definitely that person who has bad friends.
She has very bad friends, and I think it's more her friends that warp her enough that make her act the way she does, but it still doesn't excuse the way she, you know, acts around and does things to other people. But yeah, so just getting a little like actual history on Minith herself, like how she's come into the employ of Hades and how that all worked out. I think that'll be interesting to see, at least to give more context to what even got their relationship started in any way. But yeah, she does seem like she's, I mean, even after that reveal with Kronos, I am almost getting the weird foreshadowing that she's going to be responsible for either starting that, because she seems like she's a person that's able to be manipulated by her feelings very easily because of her one friend.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if this story is, if this history, this flashback we're getting is going to like explain how that manipulation kind of works out and then pushes her to certain things. But either way, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I have not read ahead. I am right on the edge of wanting to buy a few chapters ahead, but we'll see. I don't know if you are, or if you're at regular level again, Ark.
No, I'm at where we're at.
Okay, I know, because I know you said you read ahead before.
Yeah, I'll buy a couple of chapters ahead at times.
Yeah. But
it's a writer worth supporting.
No, yeah,
100%.
I did see the hardcover book that they have.
Yeah, we're getting a hardcover book too.
And I think I'll probably order that because I actually like this story a lot. I think it's very, very well done. So
make sure you guys go purchase it if you guys are watching.
Oh yeah, definitely go out, support this. This is really good. Anything else on at least these two chapters? Any thoughts or predictions on what we're hoping to see go forward?
No.
No, not yet.
No, because we're now at the part where like the story is taking an interesting turn where it is differing enough from the lore.
Well, I mean, I think the addition of Apollo and Artemis's mom might be kind of a twist in the lore, at least to what she's gonna do.
I don't know the lore too much, so I have nothing to say on that.
I mean, one part of the lore is already seemingly, hopefully changed enough, and that's with Apollo and Daphne. So I'm hoping that stays far away from its origins. Yeah, if you get like 5 or 10 minutes, go to Wiki and read that real quick and then come back to me, Seraph. You might be like, oh my god, no.
Yeah, but that's you'll find out that that's actually a thing that happens with Apollo a lot.
I mean, yeah. But I mean, none of Zeus's kids are really good people, so.
I mean, this is also true.
Yeah, very much so. Alright, we can move on here to our next one with The Darkest of Ladies in Mookhyang. We
only had one chapter.
One chapter for this one, and that was Dark finally joins the battle. He jumps in because he's like, sick and tired of watching these supposedly better Titans get their asses handed to them.
Yeah, he's like, no, let's find out how more powerful I am than these Titans. As
he always would, but doesn't quite remember that people in this world don't fight without Titans if they have them. It's kind of strange and awkward. But it seems like he's gotten more control of that Aqua Ring. It definitely doesn't seem to be fighting him as much as it used to anymore, as the prince throws a few blows at him and he's able to throw up the shield as well as the raining arrow attack. And
yes,
yeah, I mean, I know that it was only the one wizard from his homeland was able to tell like what the ring was, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the only one that noticed what it is. So I shouldn't say that I'm not surprised that no one else is like catching glimpses of it and going, "Oh crap, that's probably something we shouldn't F with." Too bad, but I feel like Dark overplaying his hand constantly should at least get him more notoriety. Not to mention that the Gosu that's with them makes comment about well, I don't know if he's the advisor of the prince of that other land, but he makes comments like, "You just say that she was this strong," and he's like, "Well, this was before. She's also taller than she was the last time I saw her."
She was just an average summoner.
Yeah, she's clearly changed. I don't know what you want to what do you want me to tell you? But yeah, Dark also
even though they were technically there for when like that explosion of energy happened too. I was like,
yeah,
did you not remember when that happened?
Apparently they didn't put 2 and 2 together, but Dark made the bet of not using his sword, I believe, in the fight.
Yeah, he tried not to.
He I mean, granted, with his ring, it seemed pretty feasible. He was well on defense and offense to take on the Titan. But it wasn't until it threw off that mana, like, just straight up sword, cloud blade beam thing. And he had to defend another way besides the Aqua Shield, because it apparently made it through that. And, of course, how the hell does a sword, you know, the size of a person, block a full-on, like, 2-story blade attack? So we're gonna get to see Dark probably go all out. We'll get to see maybe what new abilities he's gotten with the sword, since we haven't seen him really use it much.
Maybe.
I think when he fought his pops last, he busted it out, but we'll get to see
some of the abilities from his original world.
Well, that too. He hasn't really had a chance to stretch his legs, and he did make a really quick, nice mental comment of, maybe I shouldn't block this with my body, remembering what happened before when I did. And I did love the little blip of the Yamcha of him in the corner there, which was good, which I'll probably put down here somewhere. But yeah, Dark has grown enough to like respect other people's powers in this world and not just take them on the chin, because it sometimes can lead to a not good ending for him.
I don't know. I took it more as in like he was like, you know what? Maybe I should not do this time to make that big of a show. But then he still makes a big show out of it. Like he's like trying to be like, let me try not to be that big of a a show off. Yeah, show off.
I don't know. I figured after seeing that little thing in the corner, it was more of a don't overhype yourself, because it may backfire on you, especially since you're not 100% familiar with everything here. There are individuals that can rival your power and can exceed it. Just because you're not quite 100, you are full of yourself in your own world. It may not be the same here, but yeah. Yeah, we'll get to see hopefully what Dark does in this next chapter. See how one-sided that fight ends up being. To see exactly if either the prince has got some extra skills under his belt, or if Dark's just been hiding or holding back this entire time. That will be interesting to get out finally, since it's been quite a bit. But anything else on that one chapter though?
Nada.
All right, we'll move on to our last one here with Peerless Dad. We got a fight of masters all around, and a cornered dad and friend who appeared from nowhere still after trying to get the life booster, but he's given the... Okay, so this is the part in the story that I wasn't 100% on. The friend shows up. He tells him they got to get out of there. After they get out, after they're on their way to get out, he stops him and tells him, "Hey, I got an idea." And the idea is, we should get the life boosters. And he's like, "But that's what that dude has." And of course, it turns out it's like, okay, they're all fighting over what they don't know because they just expected it from him. And of course this dude's a master thief, but
He big time swindled them.
well, but at the same time,
I thought it was pretty obvious that he didn't.
well, I thought that was
wouldn't
I thought
even
that
like.
was kind of obvious, but the idea is that the friend says he knows where they are, and it seems like they're leaving to go get them, but then the dude shows up and says, "You stole them. I know you did. I'm gonna kill you for them." Like, but they're on their way to wait, he doesn't have them yet, right? They're on their way to get him.
I think what it is it seems like that the dad's friend, mercenary friend, was also working for this guy beforehand, because that's how he knew where the hiding place for the pills were.
Yeah,
because he was like, and that's why he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you now because you."
Well, it seems like he said, "Well, he's like, well, you don't know where. Well, how would you know where that is?" He says, "Don't worry about it," kind of thing.
Yeah.
But even if he didn't, it's like the plan. It seems like he says, "I know where they are. We'll leave here, and then we can go get them." Because no one would go back to the place to look for them because they believe they're out here.
Yeah.
And that's when he like shows up and says, "I'm going to kill you because you've taken them." But I'm like, but how do you know that he's taken them? They haven't even done the taken part yet. They're supposedly on their way to get them. So either like the friend is double crossing the dad, or the other dude is kind of just messing with them, or he doesn't even know. That's the part that just like just turned me around a little bit. Because I mean, I figured that they were going to get cornered at some point. You know, like they got out of that way too easily, as it turned out. But just the thing that holds them up, I'm like, okay, I guess that's how that would occur. But it at least ends with the dad getting confronted by one of the masters, who apparently makes it out of the fray, or at least gets away from it, and refocuses on them. And it's very specifically the what is he called? Is he called him the Troll Master, or?
He's one of the 9 demons.
He's not. I know he's one of the
the iron the Iron Hunchback.
Yeah, the Iron Hunchback. Thank you. Yeah. Now basically is now is finally realizing that he's more powerful than he has been thinking he isn't all this time, and because he very quickly takes out the one thief with one strike, and that already gave him at least some level of confidence. Like, I've gotten stronger, and it's like, well, I'd hope you noticed this. You trained with Mao Mao. You got your ass handed to you by another dude. I figured some level of power would come over, but he still has weariness of the 9 dragons, because it's like there's a reason that they're so powerful, and there's a reason that their names are known. You don't just get that because of a single story, of a single action. But to see him finally like actually accept that he's stronger than he really is good to finally get out from him. Like, him not just constantly think everybody around him he's fighting are just weaklings. But yeah, so their fight starts up. You know, he's able to actually like get a few like quick blows in, but nothing to land decisively. But at the same time, he does have to remember he has what's her name behind him, and I'm not sure if his friend's even helping him. I think he's staying behind too, right? He hasn't like shown up in the front to help him out.
No, he's hanging back,
he's
bro.
hanging back.
I feel like he knows if he gets into this fight, he's gonna die.
So he's playing the smart man down. Yeah. But yeah, so they this is what Nao's got to confront right now. And granted, I'm gonna guess he's gonna fight some of the other masters, because they're probably gonna notice that something's going on over there. Yeah, I don't really know how he's gonna potentially kind of get out of this without too much damage on him. But yeah, I think we're gonna have a chase scene for him for a little bit, possibly. But the big thing,
who knows? Because
I could see the Wood Girl stepping in to help out.
That would be
somehow.
nice. I'm kind of hoping that she would there would be a show up for her power. 'Cause she's been pretty passive to the fights, other than the bar. So I'd kind of hope she'd step in, but I know that she's still slightly weary of him because he's a Metal Kai user. So yeah, And with that still going on, we also got the two twins showing up, watching over the kids, and
It's Master Roshi, guys.
Master Roshi.
We got we got Master Roshi up in this piece.
Straight up, just super buff.
Yeah, the old man was apparently Master Roshi all along.
All
guys.
along. He's actually
I thought he was
400
really
years old.
No, let me show you. How come you don't remember me? And you're like, what? This is a thing? I don't remember this being a thing.
The last thing I was expecting, to be honest. I was expecting him to like show off his aura, you know.
Well, yeah, just like
you remember me? What's up?
The sudden aura demon that appears, or the red eye or something. Nope, just super buff.
No, don't you remember these muscles? I was
you remember this pain?
Oh,
I thought he was gonna start flexing on him. You know, he's gonna be like, "You remember these?"
I mean, did he need to? He flexes
Give you
as
one
he
of
walks.
these?
I'm like, I'm sure you remember this side of my hand.
Oh man, I was not expecting that. It was good to at least know, but at the same time, I was not expecting that.
And it's tight to see how strong he is, because like he brought up that even the chick from the church that was like under Noya, you know, Noya, he's like, yeah, she couldn't even lay a hand on me. Like, what's up?
There's only one person that's close to my level, and you think you're stronger than her?
Not anymore, right? It's like unless you are Nunya's level, you're not having an actual fight. You're like, oh, okay, so I guess that's how that is.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of nice to see, like, how strong he is.
Well, it's good to see what the power levels, the power system is here. Because if Nunya is the top, the daughter it was supposedly should have been second, but he's actually slips right in between. He's actually
true second.
He's true second. But that means that the kids are getting the best training they could ever possibly have.
The daughter is getting the best training she could ever get.
Compared to anybody else.
He also talks about, like, he definitely was like a villain at some point.
Oh,
because the way they talk about it is like, well, aren't you like, he obviously sounds like they recognize him, that he was once a villain or something. He was like,
locking him up for decades.
Yeah, he's like, I'm trying to get past that. I'm just an old man now, is what he's trying to do, you know. He's like,
I'm trying to live out my winter of youth right now. I'm just trying to finish off my days in peace. But
I'm just trying to train little kids, sweep up the courtyard, you know, and vibe out.
But I am willing to walk in that world if you really want to wake me up again. It's good to see the old man is walking John Wick.
Fact. We seen him take heads already, bro.
I mean, in a duffel bag. But yeah, so the kids have the little girl has the best teacher, but the kids have the best bodyguard that they could potentially need. And I'm sure that the twins are going to go back with we're never going to potentially do anything to them again.
No, that's not true. He just warns them, like, hey, don't you remember how, like, your martial arts it's scrutinized at, like, even the martial world, like, makes fun of it, basically. Like, do you really want those kids to, like, go through what you did? Like, it's not because, like, he's warning them, like, they're going to do something bad. He's warning them, like, do you really want them to go through what you did? Like, what, like, you had to go through? If so, then, you know, like, we're going to have to talk this out. Like, because, you know, I don't want those kids to get hurt like you guys definitely went through, so.
Well, we don't need them, you know, trained improperly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He decided to resort to the power of talk rather than the power of pummel.
He hit the Naruto talk no jutsu. And if it wasn't going to work,
I mean, he had
other
other options.
And then the other discussion about Nunya is when Dad's mercenary buddy brings up, he's like, oh yeah, the manual for, like, the art of Nunya's art, right?
Nunya's
like,
art, yeah, he knows.
Yeah, the heavenly demonic arts.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, there's also a manual for that there too. He's like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, okay, so we're still red storming this up. Okay, so
I mean, only a tiny bit, but I mean, he didn't give him a book. He just hit him with a bat, and that's how he trained him. So it's fine.
Bunk.
And as we know, the dad can't read, really. So giving him a book is not going to do too much. if anything, it might be like the best way to keep it safe, because he's not gonna master it, but he's also not gonna let anybody else take it. So win-win for everybody on that level. But still, it's good to know. It's good to see that Noya has left his teachings for the next person to find potentially. Yeah. So maybe we'll see him go for that, or he'll go for the life booster only, since I know he's going to be in constant danger as it is. Not to mention he also has to worry about the ever-building Metal Kai in his system, because at some point any one of them ends up losing to it, unless he can find unless he can make friends with the water demon again to help him keep that intact. But either way, yeah, this wasn't, it's weird because this was not an actual real like season end to what's going on, but the author did end the season here.
Yeah,
because
he needs a break. Yeah, he needs a break. I mean, he did just finish Red Storm too, so
yeah,
let him take a break for this. I guess
he deserves this break. Bro.
He does deserve a break. I'm just saying, like, this is
his health is like deteriorating by the day, and he's just.
Well, yeah, he's doing this. I mean, I give the man props for, you know, consistently putting out content week to week on 2 stories. At one point, it was 2 stories at the same time. You know, keeping that all together, and, you know, no breaks between any of this, you know, all the way through the holidays and all of that. It makes sense. He needs a small breather, which I'm fine with, but it was not like an actual season end. Like, we finished off an arc and got things back to some level that we could continue on. This was more like just a, all right,
we're getting what, like a whole 14-week break. So, you know, we're supposed to come back eventually in June, July.
June 28th.
June 20. Yeah, June sometime. So, yeah. Well, so we're all gonna have a little hiatus from that as well. So we may pick up something else in between there, but at least he gave us a solid date of return. Unlike most artists and creators when they go on their break, it's just, I'll be back.
Either 2 weeks or 5 months.
Not sure how I'll feel. It's just we'll see how long it kind of takes off. But yeah, so
Tapas did pick up Peerless Dad.
Oh,
so just make sure to go support it on Tapas, so then that way the creator can get all the support. You know?
Yeah, you get support.
So make sure to go support it. It's a great webtoon. Everything about it is amazing.
Yes.
You know what, that'd be great if like Tapas was, man, I don't like reading things on Tapas. That UI,
yeah, me neither.
The UI isn't the greatest. I do.
But it's like the only way to support the creator, you know.
Oh man, I'd hope that he'd eventually move over to like.
I
was hoping he was gonna move to
WEBTOON.
It'd be nice. It'd be 100% more nice, honestly.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely enjoy your break, sir. We'll be here when you get back. I'm ready for more. I'm ready for more. No, I'm ready for more of the kids. I'm ready for more Super Master Roshi buff, Grandpa. Yeah,
100%, man.
I want to see how all of this plays out, and I hope he's got plenty more story to go with on this as it plays out. So yes, thank you so much for that. But that does bring us to the end for this episode. We're almost at 2 hours, and I think we're more than ready for a tiny nap. I know I am.
I'm about to hit the hay right after this.
I'm gonna do some editing, so because we've got another one for tomorrow in the bag. But as always, thank you everybody for joining us. Seraph, if you'd be so kind.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this episode of the Project WEBTOON podcast. If you like, leave a like. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down there if you want to stay updated with our content. Make sure to hit that little bell. Also, in the description, we have an online links that goes to everything. All of our Twitters, featured Twitch, featured Discord, everything. Make sure to go check those out as well. Anchor, Spotify, all the good jazz.
Yes. Well, as any day of the day, I will close us off. This is your big man, Sleepy.
It's your boy, Seraph here.
And this is Arc Dragoon out.
Hey, everyone, take it easy out there.
Bye-bye.